What's up, traders? My name is Heath, and this is Trade Talk. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are not, welcome back, my friends. So we're going to talk about Coinbase a little bit tonight. We're also going to look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, and also we'll go over a couple FX trades that I have taken this week and look for some possible setups to come. So make sure you stick around. All right, what is up, everybody? So basically, Coinbase IPO today, and it opened at $300, and then had a nice climb to the upside around 400, and let's say just $30, and then boom, straight down. This thing was supposed to IPO around roughly $250 if I read everything right. So basically, let's talk about Coinbase a little bit. Coinbase is a great company. It's a new company, so it doesn't have a whole lot of stuff to look back on. But we do know one thing: it is a profitable company. Not only is it a profitable company, it has over $6 billion in assets, and of those assets, over $1 billion in cash, which is pretty handy. Today's IPO was not a money grab. It was essentially just to IPO, to become a publicly traded company. They are not hurting for money, so they did not do this for cash grab right now. So, in my opinion, what I would do is I would let this thing trade back down to roughly around where it was supposed to IPO at around $250, maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower. I'm going to pick up a few shares, absolutely, because I think it's a great company. Their EBITDA is approximately $1.1 billion. They have no debt. Out of their liabilities, the only liabilities they have is the money that they hold for customers, which is roughly around $3.5 billion. And since they have $6 billion in assets, they wouldn't have any trouble covering that money if they had to in the event of a massive catastrophe. So as long as everything goes as smooth as it has been going for the Coinbase company, I would assume this thing is probably going to see some nice gains, especially when you have Bitcoin and Ethereum breaking out to all-time highs, right? So as long as they own a lot of this stuff, so it's pretty good for their balance sheet, as Bitcoin is just making all-time highs, and so is Ethereum. So we're going to move on to Bitcoin right here. This was your old resistance right there at 61,280 spot 50. Now this is the Kraken data feed, so it may differ from the data feed that you're looking at a little bit, but basically this was your all-time high resistance level. It's the closing price of that daily candle. You can see that it was tested on this occasion and was tested on that occasion as well, indicating that this is in fact your resistance level. You have broken out of that with a big fat daily bullish candle. And today, during the IPO, which I basically said in the Discord rooms that basically I wouldn't be looking to put on any new bullish positions today on Bitcoin, as I would assume the IPO of Coinbase would be a buy the rumor and sell the news event. And we kind of sort of got that. If we go into a 4-hour chart, you can clearly see that we were making new all-time highs, and then boom, boom, two big bearish 4-hour candles tested that level beautifully, and so far we are trading up. Now, with that being said, we are testing for our resistance right here on this candle, all right? But is it anything to be worried about? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you're looking to day trade Bitcoin and you're looking for a position roughly around this area, you can look for a test of, let's just go ahead and call it, let's say 62,199. All right, if you get a test of 62,199 and you're not closing below that level on an hourly time frame, then yeah, you could possibly look for bullish entries. I must say, I do not trade Bitcoin on a daily basis. I am a long-term investor of Bitcoin. So I buy every time Bitcoin closes a red week. It's just what I've been doing for years. It's what I will continue to do for years. So essentially, my cost basis is in pretty great shape, and I don't have to worry about intra-week price swings. And I suggest that people do the same. Quit trying to trade this thing unless you're a professional trader, and in that case, then keep doing what you're doing, bro. But if you are a new investor, a new trader, I wouldn't be looking to day trade this asset until you get a little bit more technical analysis under your belt, so that way you can basically get good ideas as to where price might react at specific points in the chart. Nobody knows what price is ever going to do. I don't care who your favorite YouTuber is. If he says he can predict price, then he is freaking lying to you, and there's no other way to put it. As trading these markets is a 100% random act, it is essentially a coin flip every single time you take a trade. So I cannot predict unless I have a double-sided coin what that coin is going to land on. Neither can any other man. So moving forward, Ethereum is pushing up. We didn't have an extremely huge, strong breakout today, but it was a good one. I mean, look at the price range in comparison to yesterday's price range. It's pretty close to the same size. This does indicate a good breakout as the daily closed very, very high above the breakout level. This was your resistance on the daily time frame. You can clearly see that you tested it there, failed, and closed right at that level, which is indicative of that price, 2134.68, being your resistance. Once you did get your daily closure above that level, you retested that level again on the second day to see if it wanted to hold as support, and it did, and boom, boom, you got a nice big breakout move. All right, so what are we going to do on Ethereum looking on? Moving forward, well, I am not going to be trading this asset because I treat it exactly the same way as I do Bitcoin. I hold it for long-term hodl, and I don't need to worry about buying or selling up here as I have a very good cost basis. So basically, is this a good spot to look to buy and hold? Well, if you're never going to worry about it, then yeah, buy it right now. Buy as much of it as you want. I firmly believe it's going to be trading a lot higher than it is today. Do I know that it is? Absolutely not. If you are day trading this thing and you are wondering where's a good level, Heath, to look for possible area of support, well, that level would be 2150 spot 54, as that was your last daily bearish close before you took off and moved out of that area. You can simply drop down into a 4-hour time frame and find your last resistance level before it was broke out again and look for that level to be tested, and that level would be 2179 spot 77. I did get a nasty comment today, and it kind of sucks because I'm wrong according to this guy, and I'm wrong because I didn't tell him to buy BNB or her or XRP or Dogecoin. Well, that's not what this channel is about. This channel is about teaching you how to find specific areas in the chart where price may or may not react to. I'm not teaching you how to trade, as it is impossible, because trading invokes dealing with your own emotions and your own physical flaws. For instance, if you keep buying highs thinking it's going to, keep going to the moon, you keep losing money, well, that's 100% on you. If you keep trying to buy bottoms thinking it's going to reverse there, it's 100% on you. If you keep chasing price, well, once again, that's all on you. There's nothing I can do to help you. You have to learn that yourself. But what I can do and what I do on these videos is show people that are willing to listen and not call me out every time I say something, is where to look for possible entries. Yeah. So basically, that's what I'd be looking for on Ethereum. It is at all-time highs, and you are at exhaustion risk, meaning you have the possibility of this thing running out of steam, exhausting its bullish momentum, and cutting back. And it could cut back viciously. Is it going to? I don't know. Will it ever? I don't know. Possibly. So take that with a grain of salt. I'm just rambling, and I apologize. So moving on. So we've covered BTC and Ethereum as well as Coinbase. So basically, here's a trade that I took today on the Euro USD. You can see this white line at 1.19525 is a weekly level. I was basically looking at this to break or hold support. So I got long, putting my stop loss at 1.19501, indicative of this yellow or orange line, whatever this color is on your computer monitor. That is my stop loss. You can see my entry. Very, very tight entry, and I am targeting 1.19900, roughly 1.199. And I will show you why. As an area for possible profit, or where I will take profits. Essentially, you can see this double top right there. Boom, boom. So there's a lot of stops above there. I'm aiming at those stops being ran. It did not happen today. I did not even think it would move today because it had such a beautiful daily range expansion yesterday. And the day prior, you can see right here, boom, this was today's candle, by the way. This was yesterday's. Massive, massive move down, boom, straight to the upside. So yeah, this is what I think that it is aiming at. So once we take out that target, then we'll have to reassess this market, as it can go anywhere from there, and we will have to wait and see what. But you can clearly see that their trade is working out. And also, let me pull up the pound yen trade that I took yesterday. I did post the pound yen trade on Twitter. And here we go. This is the pound yen entry that I took yesterday. And you can see there my entry was 150 spot 292. It was a short entry, and I was only targeting one spot 49854 as my profit taking area. Now I do realize that this does not look like a big range, but it was over 30 pips, as the pound yen moves very far when it makes its candles. So basically I was aiming at a 30 pip trade. That trade worked out flawlessly, and then over the Asian session last night, price went up and stopped the rest of the position out. The way I trade is I always take 2/3 of my position size off when entering these day trades, because I'm entering them with such a tight stop loss that it gives me the ability to even stay in if it decides to become a swing trade at a normal swing trade position size. As if you did take a swing trade based on like the CTM entry, for instance, that stop loss could be as far as 75 pips wide. So that's why I do this style of trading. I'm always looking to get in a position and hopefully be able to hold it. But as I am not a fortune teller or a witch, I cannot see the future. I have to use a stop loss, and so does every other trader alive that knows anything about trading. So moving on, what am I looking for the rest of the week? Well, I am looking for my target on Euro USD to be hit, and then going from there, I have no idea what's going to happen. I am slightly bearish on it, but this was a big strong move off of these lows down here at one spot 17208. So we could be seeing some we are seeing some bullish momentum. And on pound dollar, you can see we have the weekly chart pulled up right here real fast. Yes, this looks like it's shaping out to be a possible bull flag on the weekly time frame, so this thing can absolutely go higher. I am not bullish on anything against the dollar right now, as the dollar has a lot of work to do before I can get basically a healthy directional bias. But what I am looking at is we are trading up into an area of possible weekly resistance right there. All right, so basically moving forward, I'm going to be looking for this thing to possibly fail at this area. It doesn't look like it wants to do so right now, as you can clearly see the range of these 4-hour candles, how big they are and how sideways they are. It's basically printing piano keys, and whenever a chart prints piano keys, it's hard to get directional bias. So if I had to ponder a guess, I would say this level looks like it's possibly going to be broken. Now there is that a descending trend line that is above near-term price at coming in roughly around 138, one spot 38. So basically, we'll see what happens if it does break out. Yes, there are levels here that you could look for possible resistance, but this is the level that I am focused on. It is the weekly level, and I hold more weight on weekly levels and daily levels than I do intraday levels, like the 4-hour. I like 8-hour levels as well, but if I stretch this 8-hour chart, you can clearly see that you are bouncing around inside of a range. This would be the top end of your range's resistance at one spot 39, and the low end of that support level, well, it would be this one down here, as we did make a new support level at 136 spot, or one spot 36816. So yeah, it is bouncing around, but near term price kind of does ring to me that it looks like it wants to head lower. So my longer term target, or my weekly expansion target, would be one spot 36706, simply aiming for this candle's low. All right, you can see that we did get a little bit of a test and breach of that level. So basically this thing has already probably purged the stops that were resting below this area. So we're just going to watch this for the rest of this week to see how it reacts around one spot 37925. That is that weekly resistance level. If it closes above that level, then obviously it will have been a breach of weekly resistance. The actual weekly resistance is that candle's closing price at one spot 38354. There is no subjectiveness about it. That is the current highest price that was able to close bullish on a weekly time frame. That does make it the resistance level. All right. This thing overall in the longer term is bearish. And the way they're printing money and everything else, I am obviously bearish on the dollar. But could this have been just a dead cat bounce from this massive sell off? Absolutely, it could. Can we chop around from, let's say, 90 to 93 bucks for the next few weeks? Absolutely, we can. So basically, I'm going to hold off on this thing by trying to pick a direction right now. It is testing weekly support right now. Will that weekly support level hold? That weekly support level is 91.687. We will only know when this weekly candle closes. Obviously, if this candle closes above 91.687, then yes, it has held support. If it closes below, then no, it has not. And we will possibly be looking for bearish entries for shorter term daily range expansion trades. Nothing more. All right. So I hope you guys get something out of this. Hopefully, it was able to help some of you out there. If not, well, maybe let me know down in the comments section how I can go about helping you on your trading journey. So with this, also, I want to bring up, thank you so much for my channel members and Patreons, as you guys are the most awesome people in the world, as it is quite a bit of a lot of work to do these videos, and I really, really appreciate the fact that you love them so much you are willing to pay me for them. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys freaking rock. And with all that said, make sure you guys trade safe, trade smart, and happy trading, everybody.